Those who give their best deserve the best. And this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Best of all, now Thompson Tractor is making that investment even better with our Workhorse Special. Get 0% financing for 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader that comes with a 3-year warranty. You also get a 74-inch bucket and 1,000-hour filter kit. Due to popular demand, this offer is extended through September 30th. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's a daily update on Bama sports and it's brought to you by Guthrie's, America's original chicken finger restaurant and a proud partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide. For more information, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. Here are some post-game thoughts from Alabama football head coach Kalen DeBoer after Alabama picks up a win 27-24 at Missouri on Saturday.
Great road win for us against a really good football team. A lot of respect for Coach Drinkwitz and what these guys are doing here at Missouri. But, we did the job. We got the job done. Proud of just the fight, that we give up a touchdown early. We answer the call. And then each side of the ball covering for each other. We fumble right away in the second half. And, short field. I know they scored a touchdown there, but defense came back out their next couple drives and just continue to play ball. And even though we made some plays in critical moments at the end, we also could have done a better job, I think, of really putting the game away at other times throughout the game.
I'll have more in a moment.
This year, we honor the most important anniversary ever. An event that reshaped civilization as we know it. A day that would lead to something so flawless that nothing could ever really compare. People have tried to match it, but have failed. This year, we celebrate the 60th anniversary of Guthrie's, the home of the original chicken finger. Just talking about it gets me all choked up. And hungry for a chicken finger. Guthrie's, an original obsession for 60 years.
Join us tonight for Crimson Tide Rewind, live from Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Vestavia Hills at 6 p.m. Central. You can listen on the radio network, the Varsity Network app, as well as catch a video replay on the CTSN YouTube page. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Guthrie's. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
And just like that, we're off, we're running, we're live, we're back, we're brand new. And Brody, echo, there we go. We're brand new. The echo is still there, buddy. There we go. We're brand new. We're live from Bill Penny Toyota, sitting out here in the service department, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then on Saturday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., their doors open to service you. Find them online at BillPennyToyota.com. Hey, don't forget, ends June 3rd. Well, that's done. How soon can you stop on a wet road? You never know. Come on out here and get some new tires here at Bill Penny Toyota. It's time for your good, the bad, the ugly of a college football weekend as another Monday is upon us. And I know there's going to be a lot of people as a whole, not just dealing with the Auburn game, but you watch a lot of college football in the SEC. You know the SEC officiating is horrendously bad. We'll talk about that, but there's a lot to get through as far as your good, the bad, the ugly goes. And you look at the Auburn Tigers on Saturday, I know there's a lot of conversation dealing with what happened inside Jordan-Hare Stadium, especially towards the end of the first half with Jackson Arnold. Fumble, not a fumble. Did he cross the goal line? Did he not cross the goal line? Hugh Freeze throwing everything but the kitchen sink at Georgia in the first half. Kirby Smart admitting they didn't have a lot of that stuff because they weren't prepared for it. Auburn kept Georgia off balance. Second half, Auburn disappeared. They went MIA. I don't know. What do you make of everything down there on Saturday?
Auburn's not mentally tough. They got out-coached again. Kirby adjusted. Auburn did not. The officiating was ugly. It was atrocious. It was the ugly part.
Yeah.
It looked like he did score, but if you hold on to the football and not let him knock it out, then there is no controversy.
Yes to that.
And so, but again, the officiating was horrendous on both sides. All right, because in the second half, Auburn got away with some holding, pass interference. The blindside block they called that would have had Georgia set up at the Auburn 1.5 yard line was an atrocious call. Wasn't even a blindside block. You can go to College Football Nerds and see that. These guys just weren't very good. And I understand that Kirby got him over a barrel and convinced him that he was clapping and not calling for timeout when it definitely looked like he was calling timeout. But that didn't lose Auburn the football game.
No.
Auburn was still ahead 10-3 at halftime, even after all this BS.
I get the when you don't get the touchdown call that you were expecting, that drive could be a little rough because your emotions are still a little raw on that drive. I get it. But the whole entire second half, Kedrick,
you're not going to beat anybody making 3 first downs and gaining 30 yards. You should fire your head coach because it's the same thing over and over and over and over again. Different quarterback, same issues.
Yes.
It's the head coach. The defense played their guts out. They played well enough to win. They got absolutely no help, and Hugh Freeze got out-coached again. Because his offense is 13 years old. He's never changed anything. He can't adjust, and he's weak mentally because he's sitting there at halftime. Oh, if we won one of these days, I guess we'll get a break. I mean, I never heard Nick Saban complain about the officiating. Did he turn calls in after games? Yes, but he never talked about it. Freeze talks about officiating all the time because he's weak. And his quarterback is as weak mentally as he is. Jackson Arnold is not a tough kid. I mean, Hugh Freeze admitted it in Atlanta, said they had to take it easy on him in camp. I mean, give me a break. He had a layup 4th down throw to a tight end that he okey-doked, that he missed. And then
he had a wide open. He missed a wide open touchdown
even
pass.
After all that, it's 13-10, and you've got Eric Singleton wide open for a 75-yard touchdown or whatnot, and he overthrows him again, just like he did against Texas A&M. The kid is weak. He's a good athlete, but he's weak mentally. It's why Oklahoma said, get on the Greyhound and get out of here, okay? And Hugh Freeze signed the kid because he beat Alabama. Let's just be honest. He beat Alabama, so he signed the kid. He tried to say, I want John. It was him or John Mateer. Well, I believe it was Jackson Arnold because he beat Alabama.
Right.
So, and he thought he fit his system. But the problem is Hugh can't develop anybody. He's a play caller. He's not a developer. He's a good coach, not a great coach. He's a G5 head coach at Auburn, and he's stealing money. Okay, period, end of story. He's got a really good defensive coordinator, and those kids have improved, and they're playing hard, and they do have a really good defense, man.
He's got freshmen playing at a high level on that defensive side of the ball.
And they shut Georgia down for the majority of the first half until that turnover. But here's the thing, too. If it really is a fumble, Auburn was fortunate that wasn't a 100-yard touchdown because the ball was never. It was never the young man that picked it up for Georgia was never down. And according to Steve Moulton, who was there, I was not. I thought they said there was a whistle. Steve said there was no whistle.
Well, the rules expert on TV said that apparently they couldn't advance because of the way that they called it. They couldn't advance the fumble. I don't know what that was all about. I don't know.
It just sounds like that's called idiot SEC officiating to me. But I mean, look, I and then the other thing too is, and I thought Auburn for a few plays on defense kind of came unglued because I'm sorry. That officiating crew was not good, but it was targeting on K.M. Lee. He hit Gunnar Stockton up under the chin. So, do I agree with the players being ejected for targeting? I've said a million times no. but it was a penalty. And then Amaris Williams, I don't care what anybody says, I've seen roughing the passer. That was roughing the passer. He was lucky it wasn't a horse collar.
Yes.
But even after all that, though, even after all of it, Auburn held him to 3.
That's what I'm saying. That drive
10 to 3.
That drive after the fumble, I get if your emotions are raw and all that stuff. I get it. That makes sense. But not to go into the locker room, give a halftime speech, get everybody back on the same page, and come out in the second half and still be. Keldrick Falk admitted, and he told reporters in the locker room after the game that it bothered them for the rest of the game. They were thrown off for the rest of the game.
You're weak. You couldn't play for Nick Saban. You're weak.
Here is Hugh Freeze
couldn't
after
play
the
for
game.
Kirby Smart. You're weak. You reflect your head coach.
I think it's very clear that we find ways to not win football games, and that's what has to change. And that locker room is good enough football team to play with anyone and to win games, creating that mentality that believes you're going to and finding ways to do it and to do your assignment when it's called on in critical moments, like you did the entire first half, is things that we've got to get corrected if we want to experience the joy of winning these close, tough SEC football games.
That's Hugh Freeze. Now, the bigger question is, we'll have a Happy Trail segment coming up later in the show because of everything that happened yesterday in college football.
Yeah, boy, Dilf, he gone.
Yeah, but you look at Hugh Freeze as a whole, and this is something that's going to be talked about now for the next couple weeks. They're 0-10 under Hugh Freeze in games against teams that finished ranked in 23 and 24. Or currently ranked in 2025. His updated record at Auburn, 14-17, 5-14 in SEC play, 7-16 against Power 4 teams, and 9-9 at home. This is the first time in Auburn's program history that they have started 0-3 in SEC play in 3 straight seasons.
He's done a terrible job.
Is he the next to go?
I mean, they're not going to fire him this week, and then again, they've had chances to win all these games. I know the A&M game was embarrassing from the standpoint of the entire game offensively. This game was a replay of that the second half on his side of the football, but
right.
I don't expect them to fire him. Now, if they go out against Missouri and they basically give up and they lose by 3 touchdowns,
which, by the way, Auburn's an early favorite over Missouri.
2.5. Then something might happen, but I don't think anything will happen based on what we saw there.
Okay.
To be honest, Auburn's schedule is not easy going forward, but they can still go on a run. So I don't expect them to do anything right now. I mean, if they did, Durkin would probably obviously have to be the interim head coach. Right. But I do think that there are some wheels turning. I certainly think his seat's getting hot, and it should. This is year 3, and it's like Groundhog Day over and over again. I certainly was frustrated. I picked Auburn publicly on this show and on social media to win the game 20-17, and I thought I was looking like a genius the first half, and then I could just see it happening, though, in the second half when Auburn came out, couldn't do anything offensively. Georgia ties the game. Then they go ahead 13-10, and then it felt like Auburn was down double digits, and they're down a dang field goal because their offense is so inept. Then even after all that, you get the one play you need. You get the receiver wide open.
Yes,
it's a layup. I think it's a touchdown if he hits him. He's behind everybody, and then if you get the lead, then in the fourth quarter, then maybe your defense steps up. It's the juice you need to get you out of this funk that Keldrick Falk was talking about, and you win the game. It's kind of like it's part of the good I saw this weekend, because Ty Simpson did not have a great game against Missouri, but when he had to be great, when he had to make a stick throw on 4th and 8 to Latsier Brooks, when he had to make a good throw on 4th down and goal against Missouri to put them up 10, he made the plays. Okay? He made them. Jackson Arnold did not. And you just can't beat teams if your quarterback's throwing for barely over 100 yards a game and you miss wide open receivers. You can't make any first downs. You can't sustain anything. I mean, there was receivers open. He's hitting people in the ankle.
Right.
And he was hitting these throws in the first half. So where did it go? Okay.
Yep.
Where is your mental toughness? Why can't you fight through? And then on the last play of the game, typical. Takes a sack. The one thing you can't do. Why are you trying to run for the first down? Throw the football. And he doesn't do it.
I agree.
I'm sorry. Auburn is just a piss poorly coached team on offense. They are a joke.
Totally agree. All right. Coming up at the top of the 8 o'clock hour, Bryan Matthews will join us. We'll unpack this one way more from Jordan-Hare Stadium then. But we got to get a break in. When we come back, we'll do some good, the bad, the ugly from Columbia, Missouri, Alabama again, rolling on the road. 3rd straight win against a ranked opponent. We'll break it down from a Columbia view next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
You'll love the expanded wine selection at Liquor Express. From special occasion to everyday table wines, they've got what you need. Meet your friends at the largest tap wall in Alabama with 105 rotating selections. Then take home a growler full of your favorite or choose from our 1,000 canned or bottled beers. Need help stocking your bar or planning your party? Liquor Express has a knowledgeable, professional, in-house staff that can assist you with anything from your bar to the planning of your special event. Visit liquorexpress.net for tasting specials, giveaways, and classes.
You've been paying on that life insurance policy for years, but maybe you don't really need it anymore, or it's gotten a bit too expensive. Well, before you just let it expire, let Neighbors Insurance Solutions share with you some alternatives that you haven't considered. Don't throw away something that still may have great value for you. If you want to learn more about what Neighbors Insurance Solutions can do for you, call 256-763-7693. A death benefit could be a life benefit. Learn more at 256-763-7693. When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement, it's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. only on 97.7 ESPN and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
Spend my dollar. Talkin' a holler needs a mouth.
We'll start setting the table for Alabama and Tennessee as the week rolls along. Plenty to get to there. But we got to get your good, the bad, the ugly from another Tide win, this time on the road against ranked Missouri. The Tide able to get it done, and Missouri put up a heck of a fight, and this was a fight to the end, but Alabama able to do enough on the road.
Yeah, we've already talked about Auburn. You know, the ugly, the officiating, the bad, Auburn offensively, the second half,
Yes.
The good, Auburn's defense once again fighting their guts out. One of the best units in the SEC in college football. Alabama, you know, the good, Ty Simpson when he had to be, no question about it. I thought before Jam Miller went out with a targeting that wasn't called, that with a concussion, then, I thought, he was part of the good. He really got it going, especially in the second half, did a good job as a receiver as well. For Alabama, I would say, the bad, the right tackle, he's horrendous. I understand Taco Casa and all that other stuff, but they can build a Taco Casa in Jacksonville, Alabama for the Gamecocks because he needs to be out of the lineup. Michael Carroll needs to be, part of the needs to be the right tackle.
Right.
I mean, no question about it. And then the ugly, I thought from the standpoint, I don't know that there was really an ugly for Alabama. I thought, losing the guys to injury, Jam and Derek Meadows was tough. And then, and it was obvious Ryan Williams was limited.
Right.
They
right.
had him on the injury report all week, probable and all this. I think they planned on really not playing him very much, if at all.
Because he didn't come into the
second quarter.
Yeah.
He only played
series.
like 30 or 40 snaps in the game. He was only targeted one time, so he was like a decoy. But see, they only brought 7 receivers because Jalen Hill was out basically with some undisclosed illness, and then Jalen Mbakwe was out. Neither one of them made the trip. And so they did. Meadows practiced all week. I thought they might even redshirt Meadows. That's obviously not going to be the case. Meadows ended up, making the trip, getting in early. He got knocked out, and that was ugly. An ugly hit, man. I mean, he was, as soon as he got hit, you're like, woof, he's done. So he had a concussion, and so then you're down to 6 receivers. So then they had to play. Ryan Williams when I don't think they wanted to. And then later in the game, ugly again, they convert a key 4th down to Jam Miller, and he gets knocked out. And yet I thought this was ugly because the officials, they don't know what targeting is because they didn't call targeting.
Right.
Of course, if you listen to these Missouri fans, the dangest thing I saw, Scott, was they said Derek Meadows, it wasn't targeting. He landed on the helmet. Is what some idiot said. He said, how is that targeting? He landed on his helmet. He hit him straight in the side of the face. Learn the game. I understand you guys don't win big games, and part of the ugly too, and this is for Missouri, because when we have good, bad, and the ugly, sometimes it's the other team.
Yes.
Missouri did not handle themselves well early in the game. They had Alabama. I mean, they couldn't have started any better.
Their opening drive was impressive.
Ripped it up.
I mean, Alabama's defense was back on their heels. They had them going left, right. I mean, they were doing everything they wanted to do on that first drive.
Totally. And then looked like they were going to have Alabama about 3rd and 15 on defense.
Yep.
And then
taunting.
DB has to go in there and stare him in the face, and he didn't even make the tackle.
No.
So, see, what I would have done with him if I was his position coach, I said, here, let me have your helmet, please. Thank you. And then you can go sit your ass over there for at least the next 2 quarters, and I might play you again another down, maybe. But get your ass over here. That's what I would have told him, because that's the rule totally. They tell you what taunting is. And I mean, but again, when you haven't been in big games and you haven't ever beat Alabama, sometimes you get a little too amped up and you do stupid things.
Oh, I agree.
So, and then this was just an effort penalty. This is not something to bench somebody over. But then they gave Alabama a first down on a false start, or offsides. Pardon me. They got into the neutral zone on that drive, and so they let Alabama score and kind of steady themselves.
Yes.
And so to me, that's because you haven't won a big game like they were in. And then I thought part of the ugly, quite frankly, was all I kept hearing was how good Bo Prabula was. Well, I can see why he was about the backup to Drew Aller, because he's not a very good passer at all. Pretty decent mobility, can run, can move, but as a passer, oh my Lord, no. He was lucky he didn't have. See, Missouri was very fortunate.
Their running game was the best. Their running game was the best part of their game.
Yeah,
even
I was
coming
told
in
by a bunch of idiots that Ahmad Hardy was going to win the Heisman Trophy and he was going to rush for 200 yards. And then, as I pointed out to one moron who was trying to tell A.J. McCarron he didn't know football, I was like, look, dude, you wouldn't know a football from a basketball because you said there was going to be domination, a Missouri easy win, and Ahmad Hardy was going to win the Heisman Trophy. I said 12 carries, 52 yards, and no touchdown ain't winning the Heisman Trophy. So, and of course, this guy blamed the officiating for Missouri losing the game. When you blame the officials all the time, you're a loser. Okay. You don't understand that. I blame the officials one time in 17 years for Nick Saban, and that was correct. That was the 2022 Tennessee game. It's ironic. It's Tennessee week. That was highway robbery. But did I blame the officiating in the kick six game? No, I did not. Even though there were some dubious calls in that game, I blame Nick Saban because he didn't let A.J. McCarron win the football game because he should have.
Right.
So, but again, I just felt like overall that there was a lot more good that came out of it. Alabama won the game, not playing their best game against Missouri, and I just feel like they now they've got to reset themselves because this schedule's a gauntlet, and you're playing a really good offensive team from the University of Tennessee coming up on Saturday back in Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Right, here is Kalen DeBoer. Part of that Alabama-Missouri game was Kalen DeBoer going for it late on 4th down, 4th and 8. A big call. Here was Kalen DeBoer on the decision to go for it late.
You're too far out for field goal, obviously, and just I don't know. I just keep swinging. I just feel like if we keep swinging, and they put me in a spot to put the pressure on me by converting some yards on 3rd down, and when I see the fight and I see us get the ball, and I think was it Kevin on the check down, and then he knifing through. I can see us battling. I just, there's a feel you have, and there's a belief you have, and a lot of it is on the body language and on the execution, and just feel. When you got a quarterback with some guys around him that can go make plays, you got to let him play. We can't be reckless, and punt in that spot. It can gain you some yards. It can put them back, but also, we're going to play to win. We've done that quite a bit this season already, and want to continue to play to win.
Yeah, I agree with him. You have to be aggressive. I thought that was good. Trust your players. And then I thought it was solid coaching the next possession. When they still had the lead, they decided to, and it was only by 3 points, but they tried to draw them off sides. When they didn't draw them off, they pooch punted, and they depended on their defense and played the percentages to get a stop. And they did. And part of the good was Damani Jackson. Part of the good was Dijon Lee coming in for Damani Jackson. Damani Jackson was part of the ugly. Damani Jackson should lose his job because he wanted no part of the tight end on the first drive. He ran out of bounds. Of course, we're going to talk to Alex, Scarborough here in a minute. And Scarborough made a point that he may have been trying to make a play on the ball, but all I know is he didn't even jump, and then he ran straight out of bounds. And honestly, after that first drive, he didn't play many snaps, but he was in again at the end of the game when they were trying to close out Missouri.
Yeah.
And he ended up giving up a deep ball near midfield that could have cost Alabama dearly. He was in position coverage wise, but of course couldn't make a play on the ball. So Dijon Lee ended up coming back in, picking the ball off to end the game. And quite frankly, I think he should replace Damani Jackson. So I think, Dijon Lee was part of the good, Damani Jackson, part of the ugly. I thought his effort was putrid. And I'll be honest with you, for most of this season, he's been extremely underwhelming with his play and being in the rotation. But we'll see, because he's going to have to, get ready to play, because Tennessee is going to be a different animal. They got 3 really good receivers and a quarterback that's, I think, a better player than Bo Perbula. All
right, let's get Pat in real fast before we get to Alex Scarborough. Good morning, Pat.
Morning, Pat.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, Drew, you stole a little bit of my thunder. I wanted to talk about Taco Guy. Taco Guy was working a drive thing, flagging defensive ends and defensive tackles and linebackers around to hit my quarterback. Is there any possibility? Could he help us out anywhere else maybe at guard or something. I mean, can we do anything else with him other than tackle?
They've tried to put him at guard, and if you watched him against Vanderbilt, he got brutalized and gave up a sack, Pat. He's just not very good. I mean, I think he's a great kid. I think he works hard from what I understand. I don't think he's an attitude issue at all. I just think he's a group of 6 talent, and that's just the bottom line. You got to tell the truth. So I just don't.
He's one we missed on for sure. I mean, he's a local Tuscaloosa guy and all that, but I mean, he's going to get Ty killed. I'm worried. And
at the end of the game, Mike Carroll was in there, Pat, and I think hopefully he may get a start this weekend. Jaden Roberts also gave him some good snaps as well at right guard in the place of Vandemark.
Hey, what about that left guard stepping on my quarterback's foot and not firing off the ball? It was a run play. He should have been going ahead, not going backwards. What do you think?
I didn't see him trip over the guard, Pat. I saw him trip himself.
On that where we were handing the ball off.
Right. On that one where he went, where his knee went down. Yeah. I didn't see him trip over him, but I watched the replay. He tripped himself. He just stumbled. He didn't take as a coaching friend of mine who called me after the game said, he should have had a different stance when he handed it off. He said Mac Jones. He talked about Mac Jones and A.J. McCarron and the stance they used, and this guy's coached a long time. Ty just he botched it, and it almost cost Alabama the game. And because I watched the replay, because my first thought was, okay, somebody tripped him. Nope.
That's what I thought.
And it was sad because that was a beautiful drive that should have been in a touchdown. And we saw once again the big man package. This time he's wildcatting and making a jump cut. Of course, a friend of mine said, why didn't they just put him under center and run a QB sneak?
My question
but who knows?
Why isn't Ty under center and we using him for a tush push? That'd be the same thing.
I thought when he got under center, I thought that's what they were going to do, Pat. I thought they might be sneaking it there, but they did not. And again, hopefully they've learned something there, but it was just a mental error that nearly cost Alabama because when I saw the replay, I was like, oh, he was down. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and raise Cain about that.
No,
that's something you can review.
No. And them people down there on the plains raising Cain about that, at halftime, going in at halftime and that changing momentum, that's bull crap. They didn't do nothing else the second half to win that football game. They played pretty well the first quarter, so they can't complain down there. They're just not any good.
Right.
And that coach is not any good. He needs to stick with his strippers. Okay, whatever that is. All right, y'all have a blessed day.
Thank you, Pat.
All right. I tell you what, 7:30, we got to get a break in because Alex Scarborough is on the other side. We've got to get his thoughts on everything that transpired in Columbia as Alabama gets their third-ranked win in a row. Now it's up to back home. Tennessee coming to town. We'll set the stage for that one. Alex Scarborough on the other side of the break when we return.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly sunny sky this afternoon. A very similar forecast to what we had over the weekend, where temperatures climb into the mid and upper 70s and then drop into the mid 50s as we head into the overnight. A mostly sunny sky for your Tuesday. Temperatures climbing into the upper 70s and lower 80s and then dropping into the mid and upper 50s through the overnight.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold-certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Mike Owen at Owen Home Appliance Center. You know, the holiday season is just around the corner. So come to Owen Home Appliance Center and get the complete Frigidaire kitchen. You buy the fridge, the range, and the microwave, and you get a dishwasher free. Or maybe you need a commercial kitchen for that huge family coming in for the holiday season. Let them help you with brands like Viking, Miele, KitchenAid, Z-Line, and Cafe. Quality products, quality pricing, quality service. That's what Owen Home Appliance Center stands for. Just 8 miles south of the river on 231.
Let's talk about the X's and O's of family entertainment. Every parent in Alabama knows the importance of being able to draw up an activity that'll get you out of the house for a couple of hours. But it needs to be affordable. It needs to be family-friendly. Above all, fun. Now, let's talk about high school sports. Bang for your buck, school sports provide the perfect game plan for your family. You'll enjoy all of the drama and excitement competitive sports offer. You'll be supporting the future leaders of our community in a meaningful way. Best of all, you can take the entire family without breaking the bank. Heck, you won't even dent it. Now, enough chalk talk. Let's get out there and see what's playing at the high school in your community. School sports. Good for our kids, good for our community.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead ran away and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Southern Nights. Tell you what, it's been gorgeous as far as Southern Nights go right now. Wake up this morning too, and it's
yeah,
been,
it has. But you couldn't have had any more perfect weather when we did the game on Thursday.
The same way with Friday. And Saturday. We'll get into this a little bit later in the show, but we've got to start moving on. And because
I had my flashlight Friday for Buckhorn, so that helped.
We got to move on because, Saturday Alabama gets Tennessee, another ranked game for Alabama, part of this gauntlet that the Tide are on. But as far as boxes go, they checked off another one on Saturday, getting a road win on the road at Columbia against Missouri. And we said it would be a fight. Missouri was a physical team, a team that could rush the ball. And right out of the gates, we said it. They had Alabama back on their heels on their first drive.
So did.
But in what we've learning from this Alabama team and what is becoming, I think, not an identity, but especially in the second half, this team defensively makes so many adjustments that it is so hard to get anything done. Now, Missouri got some moments in the second half, but consistently this Alabama team finds ways to shut people down.
Well, I always enjoy getting the insight of our next guest. He's, of course, the lead columnist and, of course, covers the beat for Bama 247. He does an outstanding job. He's very close to the program with a heartbeat, understands what he sees, and it's always great to pick his brain. And, of course, we're talking about Alex Scarborough, by Scarborough on X. And we're going to talk about what he saw in Columbia and, of course, the column that he wrote as this Alabama team continues to climb up the national polls. And right now looks like a contender, but this is a wide-open SEC right now. And we're going to talk some Bama Mizzou with Alex. Alex, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, fellas. How are you guys?
Doing good.
Well.
Doing good.
Your first lasting impression of what you saw in Columbia.
Gritty. I think that's the word I keep coming back to. I wrote in the in the column after Alabama beat Georgia that Louisiana Monroe and Wisconsin were pretty, beating Georgia was gritty. And that's what we've seen these last 3 games, is just finding ways to win. It feels like you're seeing different facets of both the offense and the defense each week. And maybe it's not perfect, but they've got this mentality that was utterly lacking at Florida State. It's remarkable how quickly they've turned that around to where they're able to weather swings in momentum. You think about the second half, and the turnover from Ty, and you got a tie ball game when they go down and they score a touchdown, and you're like, oh no, what's Alabama going to do here? And they just keep punching back, and it's an offense that can run the football a little bit more. I think that's one of the takeaways these last 2 weeks is Jam Miller getting back. That's really reinvigorated that part of the football team. Now we got to see what the concussion protocol looks like for him after losing him early in the fourth quarter. And then on the defensive side of the ball, still some issues as far as gap assignments, especially early, and some missed tackles, especially early, but they do make those adjustments in the second half. They do find ways to make plays, and that defense that had so many turnovers a year ago is starting to get some momentum as far as turnovers, because those are contagious. So you're just seeing them make plays, and shoot, when you got a quarterback like Ty Simpson playing the way he is right now, and he's not perfect, but you're in every game. I think that's the thing that I'm just super impressed with, how he can lead this football team moving forward, doesn't flinch in big moments, makes those plays, those multiple fourth down plays, the trust they have in him, but also his ability to deliver. I don't know how you can be anything less than impressed and feel like he gives Alabama a chance in every football game they play.
Yeah, and I think Alabama's doing a good job of, not saying, all right, Ty, we're putting everything on your shoulders, but they do a good job of making it so that he gets into games. They get a flow going, they get him on track early, and then I think the confidence just builds as the game goes along.
Absolutely. Ryan Grubb's influence, I think, should not go unnoticed. And I think there's some Alabama fans that I don't know if they're just averse to liking any offensive coordinator. There's some of them out there that just don't want to embrace it. But he just keeps scheming up things, and, he's doing that thing. He's staying committed to the run, which is what everybody wanted. And, yeah, there are little lulls, and they're going to be fourth downs where they're not perfect. But that didn't happen in Missouri. And the way he's built up the confidence of Ty, you think about it, you go all the way back to coming out of that Florida State game when everything was really shaky, and they said, hey, by the way, Austin Mack's going to get a series in that first half against Louisiana Monroe. And they lit a fire under him, and they've figured out ways to challenge him, but also create confidence in him. They do a really good job of mixing run, but also in the passing game, giving him those high percentage throws to get him going. But man, like that fourth down throw to Lazier Brooks, who here really believes he would have been able to make that throw week one? The fact that he could do that in that moment, not flinch, deliver a perfect football, and really help seal that win. I think it's a testament to Ty first and foremost, but also to what this coaching staff, starting with Ryan Grubb, has been able to do as far as getting him in the right headspace, helping him understand what they want out of him and what this offense can be. It's really exciting because, again, it feels like, there's this big puzzle that's laid out on the table, and you see all the pieces, and they haven't quite clicked into place, and you're still looking at a team that's 5-1. That's what I think what should be exciting for Alabama fans, is that there are things that are working right now, but it can still get to another level. And that's true of the whole football team. I think it's still true of Ty Simpson as well.
Well, and then I thought it was key for this offense to be able to beat a team like Missouri on the road, who, by the way, I was very impressed with their front defensively. But you had to have other guys step up, because you just talked about Jam going out, but Daniel Hill steps up, has the big touchdown catch, made some tough runs in the second half. And then something I wasn't expecting, Jeremy Bernard was contained, Ryan Williams obviously wasn't himself, so it's a two-parter for you, Alex. How concerning is the Williams injury? But then you saw guys like Latsier Brooks step up and make big plays to help Alabama win the game, and an Isaiah Horton early in the first half.
Yeah, it was in some ways the receiver core in the passing game took a little bit of a step back because you want your stars to make plays.
Right.
But in another respect, I'm not too concerned because what you're showing off is your depth. You're showing off that, hey, we can throw the ball to Ladzier Brooks, and he's going to continue making plays as a true freshman. In key moments, we're going to go to Josh Cuevas, the senior tight end, who just continues to show up when they need him to. I'm not concerned about Ryan Williams. I just continue to think that it's kind of a nagging thing more than anything else, and it was just the flow of the game. You saw everybody who watched that game saw Jamarcus Shepard throw a couple tantrums on the sideline. So I think there was maybe I'm going to make some points here about what we want to do. No real concern about Jeremy Bernard. We know what he's capable of. I know what Isaiah Horton's capable of, even if we haven't seen, I think, the full potential of it. That's why I keep going back to this image in my head that all the pieces are there. They just haven't clicked right into place, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because there's so many of them, because they can hit you from different parts of every angle of the field. So you want to see Ryan Williams get back going. There's no doubt about that. If you close your eyes and you envision Alabama winning a national championship, that has to include your most talented player making plays. So you want to see that. But in this stretch of games going on the road, I don't think it's the biggest red flag that he did only have one target, no catches. It's not the biggest red flag for Jeremy Bernard that he only had a few catches for very few yards. If that keeps going, I think we can sort of spend more time with it. But I think right now the health of the passing game is what you want to see, and you trust that those two guys in particular are going to find a way to be on track and make plays and make defenses pay.
Alex Scarborough joining us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, breaking down Alabama's win against Missouri and looking ahead to Tennessee. Alex, you mentioned everything is not perfect. Alabama's not playing perfect, but you look at the rest of the SEC, I don't think anybody right now is playing perfect football. So, Alabama's trending in the right direction. Where do you think Alabama needs to get a little bit of better at before going into this week's game with Tennessee?
Yeah, I think Tennessee is going to stress the defense's ability to read and not let their eyes trick them as far as misdirection. That continues to be an issue for this team as far as missed tackles. You can't do that against a Josh Heupel offense. You can't do that with what they can put on the field, especially at receiver. That's going to be a huge piece of it. And then just, I think on the other side of the ball, on offense, while I like where they are, they need to do a little bit better job finishing drives. It's going to be really helpful for that defense if they can control the football. And then to me, the offensive line needs to play better. There were way too many pressures on Ty Simpson. And yes, Ty is going to stand up there and he's going to say all the right things. And he's going to say, I need to get rid of the football better. And he's right in certain occasions. But you look at, 3 or 4 sacks, double-digit pressures, I think, in that game. Missouri was throwing a lot at you. And you're right, they had a really good defensive front. I kept thinking, man, Kirby Smart wishes he had Damon Wilson still on his football team. But that offensive line, you've seen bits from both sides in terms of pass protection. There have been games where they've looked really good. They've looked better in terms of the run blocking, much better than I've really expected, to be honest. But I don't think they've really hit where they can be yet as far as being complete and well-rounded. Maybe the rotation has something to do with that. I think Wilkin Formby's got to play better, or they've got to have a serious conversation about whether they need to move forward with him as their starting right tackle. The offensive line is going to be, it's no secret that's the key to any good football team. But I think we need to start seeing them take steps forward, and this Tennessee defense will stress them. I think if you're looking at the offense, that's where I start is up front.
Well, and then you brought it up a little bit, but it does seem like with Vandermark and Formby that there's a ongoing competition there. We've even seen some with Dewberry and William Sanders at left guard, but The right side, there seems to be the most competition. We did see I think the most action for a while from Jaden Roberts, and Ryan Grubb had said Roberts was working his way back. And then it just seems to me, and we saw him finish the game, that Mike Carroll, it goes back to your point that there needs to be some serious conversations about whether or not he needs to take over at left tackle, because he just seems to be a better athlete than Formby.
Yeah, and he gives something a little bit different in terms of not just his athleticism. Look, I think Formby is a good player. I think he could be good inside, but his lack of athleticism, you just saw the sack where he got beat off the edge. It was like he was stuck in mud. And it's too often we've seen that. And is that something that's just, you saw him frustrated with something? Was there something scheme there that didn't go right? But it's happening repeatedly. And that's why I do think, look, you don't want to thrust a true freshman into starting every single game in Michael Carroll. But what he gives you in terms of his athleticism, the highest of high ceilings, but also the attitude he brings, like he wants to go out there and put you through the dirt. Like that's the kind of player he is.
Yeah.
He's going to live in that gray area of, I'm playing through the whistle. That's what they need. That's what they've always needed. So, how comfortable are you with, the growing pains that he's going to go through? That's really the question in all of this. And how do you want to keep Wilkin Formby engaged, whether that's as a reserve or whether that's as a starting guard? I don't know what the answer is to that. I just know they've got to keep playing Michael Carroll until it's obvious that he's ready, or they just need to throw him out there and just roll with it and see how it goes. To me, he seems like the answer, but I'm willing to accept that, hey, we're not in practice every single day, and this guy is a true freshman, and there might be things in terms of just understanding the playbook and how to play the game of football at this level. Remember, he was projected as a guard coming in, and he's playing tackle now. So there's a lot on his plate, and maybe he's just not quite ready for that, and this is their way of kind of easing him into things. I don't know what it is, but I just still think at the end of the day, he's your starting right tackle, whether that's, a couple weeks from now, whether that's the start of next season. It's just, to me, a matter of time before he's that guy.
Yeah, and then on the other side of the ball, the Damani Jackson situation, I know you tried to kind of shed some light on that. It didn't look good on that first drive. And then I brought up the Bob Knight bench meets ass meets bench. He did get benched for a lot of that game, man. And Dejon Lee's coming because he made some plays on Saturday.
Yeah, when I tweeted what I did about trying to explain what was going on with that play,
right,
where it looked to me like he ran out of bounds. Still not a good football play. I just don't think it was as bad as what people were seeing. It looked like he just quit, and I don't think that was the case. I think he was playing coverage. Look, there's something wrong with him this year. I don't know what it is. We haven't really spoken to him that much. He's a senior, and to me, look, I'm more going to lean on what I saw all of last year than what I've seen in pieces this year. I'm more going to lean on the fact that this guy is playing to go to the NFL and be a high draft pick, and assume that he's just not giving up on the game of football. I'm not going to question too much his effort on this, and just, I think there's probably something going on behind the scenes. I don't know what it is, but he's not right now, and they need to figure out a way to get him there, whether that's a physical thing, whether that's a mental thing, whatever it is, because you're right. At the end of the day, Dejon Lee looks ready. He keeps making plays, and there are little parts of his game, like if you go over the top on him, he struggles a little bit in terms of when to turn his hips and go. And Lord knows Tennessee is going to take those shots. But he looks like he's ready. He looks like he's only going to get better. And it's going to be very interesting to me to see what this week of practice sort of looks like and what it shows up in the football game, because we've all seen how Damani has struggled, and we've all seen how well Dejon has played. And at a certain point, kind of like the Wilkin Formby Michael Carroll conversation, at a certain point, do you just say, hey, you've been outplayed. Sorry, you're going to the bench. I don't know that they're there yet, but it wouldn't surprise me, given the trajectory we've seen right now, that that's kind of where we end up.
Well, great stuff, Alex. Great observations from Columbia. We look forward to your coverage from Bryant-Denny Stadium the third Saturday in October. It's a great rivalry, traditional, and, of course, the team I hate the most. So I hope Alabama's ready to play this game. It's certainly going to be, but I respect them. I think they're very good. It's as big an offensive test as Alabama has faced all year. These guys are the real deal, and Aguilar has certainly been much better than Nico Iamaleava. But let everybody know how to follow your coverage, sir.
Yeah, just go to Bama247.com. You can read my stuff. Mike Rodak, Brett Greenberg does a terrific job on recruiting. We're getting into basketball season for those people out there who keep an eye on that as well. So we're going to have everything covered, and come hang out in the message board, talk about Ty Simpson, talk about Tennessee, and tell all your favorite memories of hating on the Vols, because it is a favorite pastime of Alabama football fans. That's for sure.
No doubt. Thank you, sir.
All right, my pleasure.
All right, let's get a break in, wrap up hour one when we return.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
And down the stretch we go. Welcome to Week 8 of our high school streaming network. A full slate of games, including Buckhorn taking on Mae Jemison. That'll be over the airwaves of 97.7 ESPN The Zone. The Mustang Zone has Madison Academy at JP2 at Joe Davis Stadium. Randolph is at Madison County. Sparkman plays host to Grissom, while Westminster Christian Academy is at North Jackson. Be sure and download our app and listen to all of our games all season long.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Hey folks, Arthur Seed, managing partner at University Kia, letting you know we are proud supporters of Alabama and Auburn football. Swing by University Kia today and check out our huge selections of brand new Kias, including the spacious Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the slick new K5, the sporty Kia Seltos. We've got perfect cars for every lifestyle and budget. Visit universitykia.com to view all our amazing offers and get pre-approved amenities, because we want to see you in a Kia. Roll Tide, War Eagle.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
In the market for a new or used car? Look no further than Hyundai of Decatur. With a large inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Hyundai models, Greenway Hyundai of Decatur is here to service all of your Hyundai needs. Come visit our exceptional service department as well. With state-of-the-art facilities and a caring team of automotive professionals waiting to service your vehicle, make Hyundai of Decatur your #1 choice for all your automotive needs. Give them a call today at 256-274-0279 or visit them online at greenwayhyundaiofdecatur.com.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
Left my love down in the land where Rocky tops their song.
Just getting ready to close shop down on hour number 1. We've got hour 2 coming your way on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, Talking Ball. Kind of doing some good, the bad, the ugly from your weekend of college football. And Coming up here at the bottom of the hour, we will delve more into the Auburn situation, or I should say the top of the hour in a couple of minutes. Bryan Matthews will join us because, again, we let off the show with it, and there's a lot to unpack there of what happened down on the plains. Yes, the referee situation is bad, but you look at the referee situation in the Southeastern Conference as a whole. And for the second straight year, Shane Beamer had to deal with the officials. Now, I don't think it cost South Carolina the game like it did last year. But LSU, South Carolina, there were a couple things there where Shane Beamer had to deal with the officials in that ball game. You look at the Alabama-Missouri game, targeting, not targeting is the debate. The referees put into an odd situation there. There were other games around the league that had to deal with SEC officiating. So it is a problem, once again, that is within the conference.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question. It's an issue, and it's something that Greg Sankey's going to have to deal with. I don't know why they don't spend even more money on officiating with the TV contracts and everything they got. They should have top of the line technology as much as the NFL has got. And so, I mean, look, I understand some of these fan bases being frustrated.
Yes.
Certainly frustrates me at times. But again, I just don't think that was the biggest reason Auburn lost the game. I just think what it caused, it caused kind of a domino effect. And it just, something went wrong, yet Auburn still led. Auburn still had, I thought, some momentum because they only allowed them to score 3 points. And then they came out and stopped Georgia to start the second half. Their coaching staff on offense is just not very good and can't adjust.
Right.
I mean, they can't play 4 quarters of football and beat a quality opponent. You just talked about Hugh Freeze's record through 3 years, and we're going to talk about that with Bryan Matthews coming up. But it's just a symptom, man. Certainly, I didn't think the officiating was good, but I didn't think it was good on both sides. And I just felt like Auburn wilted, and the defense did. And I thought the defense kept competing, but offensively, they have just got some big-time issues, man.
All right, so there you go. We'll hear from Bryan Matthews coming up next. What's the temperature down on the plains? We'll get Bryan Matthews' take on it next.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Atlanta Falcons hosting the Buffalo Bills at Mercedes-Benz Stadium today. The Bills are the 4.5-point road favorite. 49.5 the total. VSiN hosts Wes Reynolds and Matt Humans both like Atlanta at plus 4.5. Best bets available at VSIN.com/picks. College football Wednesday night. Jacksonville State laying 7 against Delaware. 60.5 the total at Amherst Stadium. Memphis a 3-touchdown road favorite at UAB. The Blazers fired head coach Trent Dilfer yesterday. Auburn laying 2.5 against Missouri. 44.5 the total at Jordan Hare. Alabama 7.5-point favorites over Tennessee. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Sportsman Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, dedicated to providing care that improves lives, helping us kick off hour number 2 of Talking Ball here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. We're sitting here live inside the service department of Bill Penny Toyota. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and then Saturday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. They can take care of all your vehicle's needs. And we started off the show in hour number 1. We've done a lot of good, the bad, the ugly, and that's what we usually do here on a Monday to kind of recap what was a productive college football weekend. And the Auburn Tigers, I tell you, you have a week off, and I'd give Hugh Freeze credit for this much. He came out in the beginning of the game. He put Jackson Arnold, and he put this offense in good situations early. He caught Georgia on their heels in that first half. The defense was outstanding. They played with a reckless abandon. They were all over. I mean, they dominated the time of possession, dominated the yards. This Auburn team looked every bit as impressive as what we thought they should be and could be. And in the second half, I think Hugh Freeze gets in his own way. Mentally, this team checked out after the Jackson Arnold fumble at the goal line, I think, and he never brought them back.
Yeah, I mean, it's really going to be interesting to see where this season goes now after yet another chapter of same song, different verse. But I mean, it's just, to me, and our next guest is, very musically inclined. And if you read his Monday musings, he usually always has a musical angle that he'll give you. And a few weeks ago we were talking Huey Lewis in the News, but this is like going back in time over and over again. This is like Back to the Future. Because Auburn, it just seems like you can see it coming every time. I thought they played with their hair on fire for the majority of that first half. I thought they played great. I had picked them to win this game. I thought that it was ripe for the picking. Cam Newton's jersey retirement,
yes,
electric crowd. Georgia is good, but I don't think they're vintage. And I just thought it was a good matchup for Auburn, and especially with a week off. But once again, there was some adversity. And then it just seems like every time this Auburn team mentally can't handle it. And we're going to talk about that and more with Bryan Matthews since 2001, covering the Auburn Tigers for auburnsports.com, which is part of On3 and Rivals. And Bryan is with us now. Good morning, Bryan.
Good morning. How you guys doing? Yeah, it was another tough one, right, for Auburn fans, that's for sure.
I just thought they had a great plan the first half. They punched Georgia in the face. They were controlling the line of scrimmage. The defense was playing like I thought they could. And again, I thought he scored, okay? Look, I looked at the thing, but I knew the longer they kept reviewing it, I was just like, oh, my God, this is taking like 30 minutes. It seemed like they were trying to find, in other words, I thought if it was a touchdown, it would have taken about 5 minutes, you're done, whatever. It just seemed like it took way too long. And when they turned around and then did talk about it being a fumble, I thought temporarily Auburn lost their poise, but to the credit of them, they still held them to 3 points. And I still thought they had some momentum going into the locker room, but I just didn't like the way Hugh Freeze sounded at halftime. And then, Bryan, we saw him come out in the second half, and it just was like the same old song offensively. You can't beat a good team if you can't even make a first down.
Yes, 40 yards in the second half.
Oh.
I think it was 0 of 6 on third down. Just a really, terrible offensive performance. Complete opposite of how they performed for most of the first half. And it is the same song and dance for this team and for the way they play in these big games. And it was very deflating if you're at Jordan-Hare Stadium for the way that finished. 20 unanswered points by Georgia there. I think Auburn's in some trouble.
The first 28 minutes, I tell you, you can tell that they took the bye week, shortened the playbook down a little bit. They put Jackson Arnold in good situations. They were running the football. They were doing everything that we thought this Auburn team should do. Mm-hmm. They were doing in the first 28 minutes. And, Bryan, I think that's the head scratcher, is the fact that if they can do it for 28 minutes, how do you just lay an egg then in the second half completely?
I don't know because they had 237 yards in the first half, right?
Yeah.
They had 3 very long drives. They weren't moving down the field because of some lucky explosive plays. They were driving, 8, 10, 12 play drives, and one ended on a field goal. The first one was a touchdown, then a field goal, and then the fumble or whatever it was there at the 1-inch line. And after that, it was over for that offense. Georgia made some adjustments. Auburn had no answer again, and they just went into that shell. And again, I have to wonder offensively why does Auburn only operate in this 10-yard box?
Yeah.
Right? Why cannot they throw a pass over 15 yards or 20 yards or 25 yards? Where are those intermediate plays in this offense? It's a 5-yard curl, a 5-yard hitch, or a low chance, deep throw, usually on a fade or something. But I just I don't understand this offense and why they're unable to get Cam Coleman more throws down the field, get Eric Singleton, get these really highly rated, highly paid receivers in positions to make more plays.
Yeah, and the frustrating part is, they can the defense continued to battle. It's still a 13-10 game,
Yeah.
and you finally get that deep shot. Singleton's wide open.
Yep.
Looks like, and you can better. You were there. I was watching on television, but to me, it looked like it would have been a touchdown. It looked like a layup if he had just made the throw. But much like we saw against Texas A&M, he pulled the string, and it's called momentum swings. If you make that play and get the lead in the fourth quarter, things might be different. That may have been the thing to ignite everybody. And because I just think everybody was in a funk, and it's kind of like what I saw with Alabama. They didn't play great, but Ty Simpson made throws when he had to and juiced everyone. If you make that play for Auburn, then maybe that leads to a big signature win that Hugh Freeze doesn't have.
It might, but that's the thing with this offense. That's one play in a whole half.
Yeah.
And if you want to go back and watch the Alabama game, and I did, Ty Simpson made a bunch of throws in that game, and a bunch of great passes. And I remember thinking to myself, if you want to beat Alabama, you better pressure him, or he will pick you to pieces. Auburn just doesn't have those throws in their offense right now. They just don't.
Yeah.
It's these quick little throws, get rid of the ball, or it's okay, we'll set this up for 15 plays and finally run the big play. And if it doesn't work perfectly, well, sorry, we'll just have 40 yards in the first half instead of 100. I mean, the second half, excuse me. It's just it's rough what we're seeing right now, and it looks like Auburn's kind of desperate on that side of the ball and can't find any real answers.
Well, you look at the first half, and you mentioned those long drives. Well, the one thing it was doing is it was keeping the defense off the field. Yeah. And so when Georgia actually gets out there, the defense can play with their hair on fire because they have so much energy. But in the second half, Auburn gets out there, runs 3 quick plays, and they're off the field. 3 more quick plays, they're off the field. That defense is it just kind of started to break down there in the fourth quarter because they were on the field so much.
Yeah. They had 3 consecutive 3-and-outs where they totaled, I think, 8 yards on 9 plays there through the middle of the third quarter, through the fourth quarter. They had that first drive, I think, of the first half that ended on downs, and then that was the end of the game. Basically, they had no other chances really. Except when they were down by 10 and, at the very end of the game, which didn't matter. It was just total ineptitude on defense in the second half. I would say I haven't seen anything like it before, but you see it every week with this team, right? It's crazy.
Isn't that funny? It's you think we've seen it all, all the head-scratching moments, and then somehow they're able to make you scratch your head in ways you never even thought you still could scratch it.
Yep. And Jackson Arnold, I think the problems on offense lie with the coaching staff, but I also don't think Jackson Arnold is a very good quarterback, just to be honest. I think they're having to make things really, really simple and easy for him, and that's affecting it too. But that's on them because this is the guy they brought in. This is the guy they evaluated. This is the guy they paid for. This was going to be the quarterback to lead them and lead all these talented players. So, it's all on this coaching staff, especially you, Freeze.
Well, and then and that's brings up this point. Now we all agree the officiating was terrible. Okay, I thought it was terrible on both sides. Honestly, it was atrocious. I felt bad, and I understand the Auburn fans' frustration. I really do. I mean, the clapping thing that looked like a timeout. I dig it. I understand why they're frustrated. But here's the thing that I'm watching, and this is my question to you. I still think Hugh Freeze is too. I think I just think sometimes he gets too fixated on that, though, because I thought even at halftime he said, well, maybe we can get a break one of these damn times. And I'm like, Coach, I mean, your team's up 10-3. Like, you look like you're poor me. And he spends that time out trying to get a targeting call when he should be trying to figure out how to get his team rolling. Like, I just think sometimes he gets too fixated on the officiating and not coaching his team.
I think that's a really good point, and I think a lot of people are starting to notice that. And he's had problems, I think, being a 4 or 5 instead of a 7 or 8 during a game. I guess on a scale of 1 to 10, as far as his. And you just wonder what effect that has on the team. You don't know. You're just watching him on TV or listening to him in a post-game press conference or on his Monday press conference the other day, and he's just he's not exactly fired up. Maybe he can turns it up and down when he needs to, but it makes you wonder if this team is not maybe not reacting as well as it could if he'd light a little bit of a fire under him.
Well, Brian, here we go this week, and I mean, it's just I think it sums up how crazy the SEC has been as a whole. Auburn is a favorite this week early on over Missouri.
What are people watching? I mean, are you drunk to put that money on Auburn? Seriously, what is going on? I mean, I try to be nice, but Missouri is 10 times a better coach team than Auburn right now.
Right? I agree.
I mean, they played pretty good. I mean, they played okay against Alabama, right? Ty Simpson was the difference in that game, I thought. But clearly they're a better team than Auburn. I don't think this home field advantage is going to mean a whole lot after what's happened the last 3 weeks for Auburn. We'll see. We'll see. I'm sure Auburn fans who love the school will show up and support the team. I'm not saying they won't.
Right.
But at some point, it just every fan base, this kind of losing effects, and it's going to happen in Auburn too. So this is going to be another tough one. I don't know how you climb out of this hole that Hugh Freeze and his staff and this program has dug itself again. We'll see. It is college football. Things can change. I sound a little depressing right now.
Well, hey, at least you got SEC basketball tip off to cover Tuesday, man.
But I'm not coaching this team, right? I can. All I got to do is coach up my dog on our walk here after the show is, after I'm done with this segment.
And I think things are a lot more positive with Stephen Pearl right now.
Yeah.
I mean, coming off a Final Four and everything. I mean, and a smooth transition, it looks like. I mean, at least there's more positivity there.
There is.
To wrap this up, though, and you've kind of referenced it, and I know your colleagues, J.G. Tate, Justin Hokanson, all those guys, but how much heat is on Hugh Freeze? How much trouble is he in?
Yeah, it's turned up. It's hot. It's really, really hot. Yeah. It's not just the losing. It's the offense is supposed to be your thing, and your offense is terrible. I'm going to have my column on Monday Musings out later today where I talk about that he needs to fire himself as offensive coordinator.
Wow!
He's got to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's his only chance now. I don't know that it'll work, but he's got to step aside from that. He just cannot get it done. It's pretty obvious to me, and I think. You can go back to when he was hired. He knew he needed to hire offensive coordinator. He hired Philip Montgomery.
Yeah.
Started meddling, didn't work out, and then since then the offense has gotten worse. So that should tell you something. It's gotten worse with a lot better talent too.
Well, Garen.
So yeah, I just we've reached that time that I'm not expecting anything to happen this week, but at any point in time here going forward, if something bad happens again, it's just going to be hard to sustain it.
Well, if Auburn eventually does move on, I can guarantee you this: there will probably be zero ties to Gus Malzahn, because this is.
like Gus again.
That's my point. This sounds exactly like what Auburn went through with Gus Malzahn, firing yourself as offensive coordinator, bringing somebody in, meddling. This is Gus Malzahn 2.0 right now.
And it is a little different. I think Gus with talent is a daggum good offensive coordinator.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
He can run it. And his problem was he couldn't get talent. You freeze to getting talent, and it's not working. Now, maybe it's because he can't evaluate a quarterback anymore or coach him up anymore, or maybe it's because he just can't formulate a really good offense in today's era of football. I don't know. I don't have all the answers, but it is not working. He needs to get out of the way and let somebody else, have a try there.
Well, that
There we
would
go.
probably involve Derek Nix, but we will see. But definitely, and we've seen some of his Gus's OCs, Rhett Lashley and Kenny Dillingham, become really good head coaches. So,
Yep.
yeah,
They'll be on the list if something does happen for sure.
There you go. Okay.
That's a good segue. There we go. Well, Brian, we appreciate it. We know it's going to be a very interesting week, and they've got Columbia coming to Jordan-Hare. Let everybody know how to follow your coverage, my friend.
Yeah, check this out. We'll talk to Stephen Pearl this morning. We're talking to
Stephen Pearl
Freeze this afternoon. Plenty of other coverage. I'm going to have my Monday Musings out here shortly. We'll do our podcast, all that more at auburnsports.com. You can sign up online for $1 right now, and check me out on Twitter, /X at BMATAU.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Brian.
Appreciate you guys.
Let's get a break in. When we come back, how about some happy trails, college football?
You call back in, Wolverine Dan. We thought it was gutsy. You called in earlier. We just didn't have a lot of time. We know it was a black weekend for Michigan.
Let's get a break in. When we come back,
and the university.
Talking Ball rolls on next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Where's the best place for sports? What about the best place for wings? If you answered Jefferson's for both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every Monday, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult meal, and teachers bring your teacher ID and you eat free every first Tuesday of the month up to $15. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings, in Hampton Cove and our latest location, now open in New Market on Winchester Road.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Mike Owen at Owen Home Appliance Center. Are those new school clothes wearing out that old washer and dryer? Well, it's time to get off the bus at Owen Home Appliance Center and learn what a new Speed Queen washer can do for you. They're in stock and are ready for delivery now. At Owen Home Appliance Center, quality products, quality pricing, quality service. It's right there in the name, Owen Home Appliance Center. 2 locations to serve you, Highway 36 in Somerville and the interactive location at Highway 231 in Lacey Springs, just 8 miles south of the river.
You'll love the expanded wine selection at Liquor Express. From special occasion to everyday table wines, they've got what you need. Meet your friends at the largest tap wall in Alabama with 105 rotating selections. Then take home a growler full of your favorite or choose from our 1,000 canned or bottled beers. Need help stocking your bar or planning your party? Liquor Express has a knowledgeable, professional, in-house staff that can assist you with anything from your bar to the planning of your special event. Visit liquorexpress.net for tasting specials, giveaways, and classes.
Organizations using Salesforce know how powerful the platform is and how much time, money, and headaches it saves if it's set up right and you know how to use it. Let's face it, Salesforce is complicated and time-consuming to figure out, and a lot can go wrong now and down the road without expert help. That's why most Salesforce users work with an implementation partner like Higher Echelon, so they get the absolute most out of their Salesforce investment. Higher Echelon is a 5-star Salesforce consulting partner who won Salesforce Military Hiring Partner of the Year. President Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached coached for the cadets. He puts that experience to good use at Higher Echelon, where they pride themselves on hiring veterans. Look, not all Salesforce partners are the same. Don't put your company at risk by going with an inferior partner. Higher Echelon is the trusted partner you can count on to get you up and running and seeing returns on your Salesforce investment in a fraction of the time it would take if you go it alone. Go to higherechelon.com. That's HIGHERECHELON.com to learn more. Go higher and go Army.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
At Stella at 5 Points, living isn't just about having an apartment, it's about living artfully. Imagine waking up with the upscale feel of Atlanta or Nashville right here in the heart of Huntsville. Modern, stylish apartments, open layouts, stainless steel appliances, and resort-inspired amenities. Nestled in vibrant 5 Points, you'll enjoy walkability, parks, dining, and quick access to downtown without the chaos. Stella at 5 Points. Live artfully. Live Stella.
Talking Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. only on 97.7 ESPN and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
Oh, welcome back in. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Great interview there by Bryan Matthews. And as we get your good, the bad, the ugly from a Monday of college football, it's only fitting. It's only fitting.
Happy trails to you.
That we bring this up on a Monday because if you paid attention to all the news yesterday in college football, it was another long Sunday for several names. James Franklin from Penn State.
That was embarrassing. 22-21. Losing at home to Northwestern. How humiliating.
Second straight game for the Lions, the Nittany Lions, I should say, who were 20-point favorites to lose a game. Second straight one. They'd lost the week before to UCLA. The second largest buyout in college football history, almost $49 million for James Franklin.
Dirt Neck can't. He'll never be probably equaled again.
Yep. So that was earlier in the day. Oregon State said goodbye to their head coach,
Tyler Bray, I think is his name. I think they're 0-7. They're awful.
Happy trails to him. And then
our friend Trent Dilfer.
Happy trails to him. UAB cutting Trent Dilfer loose as well.
9-21. 4-8, 3-9, 2-4. Getting hammered by Florida Atlantic, I think it was.
Yeah.
So see ya.
So happy trails to him.
I got to give Ryan Brown credit from the next round. He said, "Well, I knew this was never going to work." When he came on and told us that I'm gonna work less hours as a college coach than I had to as a high school coach, and he was like, I was just stunned that he said it. I was like, "Oh my Lord!"
Yes.
I didn't hear him say that, but I would have done the same thing. I would have been like, "Bruh, if you're not working, like 24 hours a day at recruiting and grinding every day."
Well, remember, this is the same Trent Dilfer who said in a press conference multiple times that a rebuilding job is not something that you can do in a year or so. And everybody was kind of scratching their head saying, you're not rebuilding a UAB program. This is a UAB program that was winning before you got there.
And you ran it into the ditch quickly.
Yes.
And a lot of people want him to go hire Brian Vincent from ULM, who was the interim coach and was on Bill Clark's staff. So it's going to be interesting to see what direction, UAB goes. And does Mark Ingram get to make the hire? Because a lot of people want him gone. He's the athletic director at UAB that hired Dilfer, which was an unmitigated disaster. And I've always liked Trent, but it was terrible. I mean, they were not a good football team nor program. And, they had what did they buy for the Army game? What did they do? Buy 200,000 tickets? To disperse out. I mean, that's horrible. I mean, and they've got a great facility, but he eroded the fan base quickly. That had been built. So, you got to fill that stadium up. It's a beautiful facility in down there. Right next to the Legacy Arena, and it's I think that in Bill Clark proved
proactive field or whatever,
protective stadium, and look, Bill Clark proved you can win there, and you can win conference championships and beat people on the G5 level, and they've got to find the right fit. I'm already trying to line it up because I think he's done after Saturday getting whacked in College Station, but he's going to get a nice big buyout. And
Billy Napier.
I haven't been happy trails yet, but if I were UAB, I'd be trying to see if I could convince Billy Napier to come to Birmingham.
You would take a flyer on him.
Oh, I don't think it's a flyer. He won on that level at Louisiana. I just look, man, just like his colleague, Freeze.
Right.
I think both of them are a group of 6 head coaches. They're not elite SEC coaches. Okay. That's fine, but you can still win on that level and make good money. And both of them, Hugh will get a buyout. Billy Napier is going to get one. We already saw Hugh win at Liberty.
Right.
And Billy won at Louisiana. And Billy knows the South really well, in the state of Alabama.
Yeah.
I think he'd be a good fit at UAB.
Well, you look at where this UAB job is, and you look at the facilities. Now, when Trent Dilfer took over, Bill Clark had all these facilities built. They have the covered practice facility. They've got the new locker rooms on campus. They got the football only facility down there for UAB. So this, as far as mid-major or group of 6 or power, whatever the heck they want to call them, whatever they're in, it's an attractive job. And it is an attractive place that you can win. You can recruit to UAB. The fan base will come back if you start to win.
Right.
You just have got to get somebody in there to do it. And you wonder, though, hiring a guy like Trent Dilfer, who had zero college coaching experience, limited high school coaching experience, how many years, though, it did set this program back. You wonder how much it set it back. All right. Good, the bad, the ugly from the rest of the SEC on Saturday. You mentioned Florida. They gave Texas A&M, they gave them a fight for, quarter and a half? And then after that, Texas A&M showed that they were the better team. 34-17, Aggies win at home.
Yeah, Florida got off to a quick start. They scored first, and it was close for a half. I think it was 21-14, Aggies at halftime. But methodically, they just put the Gators away. Florida, couldn't run the ball well enough. And, of course, DJ Lagway was iffy. They just got beat by a better team.
Yeah.
I mean, and Billy and them are now 2-4. They got to play Mississippi State at home for homecoming. And I'll just go ahead and say it. If he doesn't win this game, they'll fire him after the game. They're supposed to beat Mississippi State, and if they don't, he'll get the zig.
Well, this is the big week because after this, Florida's on a bye.
Yeah.
And so if it's going to happen, if it's going to happen in season, this is the week that it'll happen.
Yeah.
And you look at the game as far as that one goes. Well, yeah, you look at it, Texas A&M, Florida, Mississippi State. Florida is a 9.5-point favorite at home right now.
Close to 10 points, close to double-digit favorite. The Ole Miss Georgia game is going to be kind of the showcase game. The Rebels were bad on Saturday. Now they won.
Do you think they walked through that?
Yes, without question. And Lane Kiffin knew it.
Student fan base barely showed up for this one. They were kind of droggy.
They were just like. They thought they were playing Washington State, who'd already been embarrassed by North Texas, and they weren't ready to play. They found a way to win it,
right?
Which is good, but they did not play well. Everybody knew they got this road trip to Athens coming up, So it was not good.
By the way, Georgia, 7.5 point early favorite.
Yeah.
That line may change as the week goes along.
Ole Miss was flat, and that's why A&M passed them in the polls. A&M now the highest ranked SEC team at number 4. And we hadn't said it. I didn't mean to bury it. I finally believe. I believe in the Hoosiers. Okay?
Yes. Well, we haven't gotten that far yet, but yes.
I believe in Kurt Cignetti, who's now going to be up for every job in America. He's already, some people believe, should be the front runner for Penn State now that James Franklin is being axed.
I've heard Matt Rule's name mentioned
he's
there
a grad
as well.
There, and he's doing a good job with Nebraska. He did remarkable things with Baylor. He was not a good NFL head coach, but again, sometimes it's about fit. So Penn State will be interesting. I've heard Clown Mullen is trying to get that job.
By the way, UNLV is undefeated.
Who cares?
I'm just saying.
Congratulations. Wow, whoop-de-doo. They beat 3 tomato cans and a couple of who have they beat?
They haven't beaten anybody.
UCLA, I guess.
My point is
wow.
Dan Mullen still has not forgotten how to coach. His biggest kryptonite when he was at Florida was he'd forgotten how to recruit. Yes.
Yeah. So, look, man, I don't think Penn State should touch Dan Mullen with a 10-foot pole.
I don't think they will either.
So, we'll see. Now, maybe Dan ends up going to UCLA. I don't know. Maybe that's more of a fit for him. Who knows? But he'll probably not be long for UNLV because they don't even know if they can pay him.
That's my point. That was where I was going to go.
So,
they figured they're on borrowed time with Dan Mullen anyway because of their financial situation.
But congrats to the running Rebels who are I guess they call them the running Rebels in football. But congrats to the Rebels for being 6-0 for the first time since the cows came home.
But you're right. Ohio State, Miami, Indiana, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, your top 5 in the AP poll. Alabama checks in at number 6.
Yeah.
But you believe in Indiana. They did go on the road.
Watch some of it. They just whacked them. I mean, they just flat. Mendoza, Heisman candidate, heck of a player.
Their defense is much improved from last year.
Whatever it is.
Yes.
They just flat whipped Oregon, who – I watched Dante Moore, who's supposed to be the Heisman Trophy front runner, and the first pick and he didn't look like it. The best quarterback was in the Crimson and Cream of Indiana. I was not impressed with Dante Moore. I thought when it mattered, he looked like Jackson Arnold, and he just
dipped back into his shell.
I mean, he threw 2 horrendous interceptions. Basically, he couldn't drive his team down. And I just thought Indiana was the tougher team. And, I've never trusted Tosh Lupoy, a defensive coordinator anyway. You're never going to win a damn national championship with that guy calling your defense. Now, you're going to get good players, and he can recruit, and he can coach edge rushers, but coordinating the defense, I don't think so. So, I mean, but again, I think Oregon's got a good team. They don't have a great team. I don't know if there's a great team in college football, but certainly – I'm going to, look, I was critical of Indiana and who they'd played and who they'd beaten, but they won me over this weekend. They may be the best team in the Big Ten. They don't play Ohio State in the regular season this year, but certainly could play them in the Big Ten championship game. And if they do, what a matchup that would be.
I'll just say this. It's not going to happen. But UCLA still has a shot to win the Big Ten.
Oh my God! I saw that. I'm not
going to say it's going to happen.
One thing I've got to see today is Mike Valenti. His head may explode over with Rico Beard. They're big Michigan State. Oh my God! I'm sure they were shocked that it wasn't a black Sunday for their head coach. I mean, they were already kind of thinking it was not going to work out, but after that horrendous performance, getting blown out by UCLA and East Lansing, good Lord.
Well, right now, this will be all we mention of the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Indiana, Ohio State, your undefeated teams.
Yeah.
UCLA is still there. They're 2-1. Like I said, they still have a shot to win it, but it's not going to happen.
Head coach is 2-0.
Yeah. All right, let's get a break in. By the way, Alec Mortensen your interim head coach for UAB.
There it is, yep.
And that just adds to the Nick Saban coaching tree of head coaches, not head coaches anymore, that have coached in college football. Just adds to it because Alec Mortensen, the son of the late great broadcaster Chris Mortensen. Yes, so there you go.
He's going to be the interim coach. He was the offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, so he's moving over. And Jonathan Smith, how do you still have a job for Michigan State? When I saw that score, I was like, good Lord.
38-13, your final.
And it was in East Lansing. I thought, oh, my goodness.
My wife said, well, why do we even give a crap about UCLA? And I said, we don't. I said, but I said, just keep in mind that 3 weeks ago, they were the only college football team in America that didn't lead for a second.
I mean, they didn't beat UNLV or New Mexico.
They didn't lead for 1 second in any game, and they've won back-to-back games after firing their head coach. I said, so it's just a funny story.
After
That's
fire,
it.
you should have
Don't care about them at all.
You should have just Googled it and showed your wife, said, watch this press conference from Deshaun Foster.
Yes.
This is all you need to know about their ex-head coach. He was a complete buffoon.
We are UCLA. We're located in
Los Angeles, California. We play football. I mean, it's just like
our rivals, USC.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, we got to get a break in. We'll get some more of your good, the bad, the ugly from college football coming up next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Travel accommodations for 97.7 ESPN The Zone provided by University Kia. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. We drop into the mid and upper 50s as we head into the overnight and then early into your Tuesday morning. A fantastic night to leave the windows open. Once again, a mostly sunny sky Tuesday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 70s and lower 80s before we drop into the upper 50s overnight early Wednesday. A mostly sunny sky Wednesday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the low 80s.
Your Fox 54 weather only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
We are a championship school as school is in session.
He'll go on the toss to Jam. He cuts it back. He's got a first down.
Join us Saturday as the Crimson Tide battle Tennessee on the third Saturday in October. Our coverage begins at 3:30 on your home for Alabama football.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at Your Home Window. Now is the time to take advantage of their huge end of summer sale and get ready for the fall. Right now, all windows are 35% off. All exterior doors are 40% off. Now you get the whole door, just the price is 40% off. And get this, 0% interest for 18 months, as in no interest, nada, none. As always, the estimates are free, as is the lifetime warranty. To make an appointment, go to yourhomewindow.com. That's yourhomewindow.com.
This is your home for Madison Academy football.
Owens in some trouble, eludes a man, flings it to the far flank. It is caught! Right. It is caught by Kreider.
This is your home for the Mustang Zone. Only on 97.7 ESPN.com and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
Welcome back. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond here inside Bill Penny Toyota Service Department. And we've talked a lot about Alabama and Auburn, and we've talked Texas A&M, Florida, Tennessee, Ole Miss. We've kind of bounced around the league. But reaction across the country is kind of pouring in on Auburn's performance on Saturday. And we had him on the show last week, Brooks Austin, our film guy, who does a fantastic job of breaking everything down for us. And he sat in front of the mic yesterday and gave some thoughts and feelings on Hugh Freeze and the reaction after the Georgia game. Take a listen to what Brooks Austin had to say on Hugh Freeze.
How come in 7 days, 10 days of practice, how come in 10 days of practice, we can come up with an absolute dynamite opening half script? I mean, it wasn't even an opening drive, boys. It was the opening half, created like brand new offense, stuff that they did not prepare for. When you have Kirby Smart in the post-game press conference as a defensive coordinator that's been going out there calling plays for decades, when you got that dude at the mic saying they ran stuff that we didn't prep. Sir, what? Sir, what? Hugh Freeze did something that you didn't prepare your players for? You are Mr. Prep. You are Mr. Prep. So that tells me, again, how can Hugh Freeze do that in 10 days, but yet the whole offseason, the whole base install, the building blocks of what he does offensively is some vanilla RPO, just crap. Just like I stopped designing plays in 2012. But yeah, give me an off week. Let me coach for my job. I'm going to go out there and dial up them suckers for 26 snaps. What? How? It's always been my biggest thing about him, man. I think you're good, dude. I think you're really, really good. But maybe you're lazy. I don't want to say you're lazy. I don't want to say that. I don't want to accuse people of not working very hard. But how can we do that and then go out there at A&M and Oklahoma and basically run the same 7 plays for 60 snaps? Well, I mean, and then the second half of the Georgia game, when Kirby counters, you can't adjust yourself, or you can't coach your quarterback up to the point where he'll relax and make throws that are wide open. Mm-hmm. But, that just goes to what Bryan Matthews said, is that I don't think Hugh is an outstanding coach. I think, I think he's a good coach, but he needs to be elite to win at this level. I think he's a group of 6 guy, just like we see players that are a group of 6 players that can't play in the SEC. Hugh Freeze is not built to have sustained success in the SEC. He didn't have sustained success at Ole Miss because of A, he was NILing before NIL, and B, his personal life was a shambles. So I don't know. I'm not talking about his personal life at Auburn, but I'm just saying, look, man, it goes back to kind of what Brooks was hinting at, though. Are you grinding or not?
Right.
And can you coach guys up? I just don't see his ability to adjust. And then I just don't think he's mentally tough. That's why I asked Brian about him harping on the officiating. I just think he harps on that too much. Like, why would you burn a valuable timeout? You get 3 timeouts a half, Scott. 3 timeouts, and you're burning a timeout. Oh, that's targeting. That's targeting. You got to give me the targeting call. Coach, get your team playing.
Well, you can't review certain things.
And then he's just harping at the official, just chewing on him the whole time. Coach your team, man. And I just think that's what's going to end up costing him his job probably by the end of the season. But I will say this, just reading between the lines with our good friend Bryan Matthews, if it is a disaster Saturday and he's not expecting a truly energetic crowd, he thinks they're going to show up, but he's not expecting what we saw Saturday night, okay?
Right.
For
right.
Mizzou.
Oh, it was
off the wall.
It was electric.
Now,
Inside
if it's a little flat and the team doesn't play well and Mizzou comes out, and punches them in the face, and just let's say the defense doesn't answer the bell, because the defense is answering the bell every game, Scott. But what if they have a game where they don't answer it and Auburn gets whacked? I think basically what Bryan was telling us is nothing's off the table. There we go.
And then we could do happy trails to another coach on Monday.
And then let's tell the audience, our producer is an Auburn fan. So, and by the way, he's looking like a genius because he said Hugh Freeze was fixing to fall on his face, and he actually predicted he wouldn't make it to the end of the season. So right now he's on fire.
He's on fire.
Like they used to say in NBA Jam.
Oh my gosh. He's on fire.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You can do anything you want.
Oh, I know.
All right. Well, we've got to get a break in. When we come back, we'll wrap up this whole extravaganza of 2 hours. It's Talking Ball live from Bill Penny Toyota.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve. And we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call Trajan today at 256-208-9000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
Who did this to be rich on purpose?
Be Rich must be on on the phone lines if we're playing this.
You got to be dry heaving right now.
Let's go out to the phone lines. It's got to be because B. Rich, it's just coincidentally, B. Rich is on the phone. Good morning, sir.
See, he's dry heaving.
B. Rich, we got you.
What's up, man? Did he hang up?
He did. Everyone must have left.
No,
I'm here.
he was dry heaving. That's what he was doing. What's up, man?
Rocky Top, you'll always be a pile of crap to me. Screw you, Rocky Top. Go to Tennessee.
Or as Brian said one time when I tailgated with him outside Brian Denny Stadium, he put up a butt chugging sign. So there you go.
They are. They're a bunch of butt chuggers. They're butt chuggers. They're low down. They're dirty. They're some snitches. I hate all-day quarterbacks. Philip Fulmer sucks. I can't stress that enough, as my man used to say. But it is the greatest week of the year. And no matter how good Steeler Mike's cornbread was, I will not be partaking in any of that crap this week. No Jack Daniels, no nothing. It is the greatest week of the year, and I'm full of so much hate. And on Saturday in Bryant-Denny, I will be full of whiskey and hate, but it will be Canadian blended whiskey, not Tennessee number 7. So I'm super excited. You guys know I love this week. So there will be trips to the humidor to pick out a winning cigar.
Well, just use the one you didn't use last year.
Oh, boy.
Scott, we're friends.
I just had to do that. I don't care either way. I don't care either way. I just had to do it.
Oh, we were friends, my man.
We are. But I just,
We're gonna play dirty this week.
like I said, I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't care.
Right.
Hey, I'm gonna remember that when we dropped Chester 2.0 in the oil this year, and I'm cutting your portion of turkey. I'm gonna remember that, Scott. I'm gonna remember that. I keep receipts.
You keep receipts.
Oh God.
I'm so fired up.
No, you should be.
You. Yeah, Steeler Mike, bring everything you've got this week. Smokey Mike, I know you won't call in. Nobody wants to hear your raspy cigarette voice on the air anyways, talking about whoever the hell your damn quarterback is and how amazing they are and how fat Josh Heupel is. Nobody wants to hear any of that crap. I challenge any of you Tennessee fans to call in. I challenge you to show up at Bryant-Denny Stadium. I challenge you to do anything. Do anything. Beat a good team. See if you can do something you haven't done since when, Drew? Were we talking like 02?
First and two.
Right. Can you show up in 20 years and beat Alabama and Bryant-Denny? I don't think you can. And I'll be there to watch it. You need my section, you let me know. I'll even let any of y'all come light my cigar. I know my good buddy Matt Hallam is coming down from Knoxville.
Oh, nice.
He'll be down
Matt.
there.
Good dude.
Excited to see him. He's one of the good ones, I'll say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. You guys are going to hear from me a lot this week because this is the best week of the year. So bring it, Tennessee fans. Roll Tide, my friends.
But you know, that game, we'll break it down. We'll break it down all week. And of course, referring to Alabama and Tennessee, third Saturday in October. But Tennessee's in a precarious spot because they got the best offense in the league, number one in scoring offense, but they also have the last in scoring defense. I mean, they give up the points, they give up everything, but they also score the points. So, I mean, it's an interesting dynamic there, but we'll break it all down. We got a lot to break down with that one throughout the week.
Yeah, we do. It's going to be a big one, no doubt about it. Vols looking to win in Tuscaloosa for the first time since 2003, and then win 2 in a row for the first time in a long time as well in the series. But certainly it's become a rivalry again with what Heupel's been able to do. Tennessee's a really good team, and it's a good matchup. It's going to be a tough one. Alabama's got to get healthy. They've got to, and then they've got to bring the energy for a 4th straight week. They're trying to make history and they're trying to run this gauntlet of a schedule. With all these ranked teams, you're having to play back to back to back to back, and certainly they've passed the first 3 tests, and now they got to pass the 4th. So it's a tough one. Vols ranked in the top 15 in the country, and very, very potent offensively. Defensively, they can rush the passer. They've got 26 sacks.
Yeah.
They do create some turnovers, but their rush defense, their pass defense, iffy. But again, they're opportunistic. So, and their offense, they got 3 good backs, 3 good receivers. QB's a lot better fit for what they wanted to do than what they had a year ago. And so they're going to be a challenge for Alabama, no question about it.
Do want to say big thank you to Alabama A&M.
There you go.
Spent time up there on Saturday for homecoming against Mississippi Valley State. It was kind of cool to see Terrell Buckley on the sidelines, head
T-Buck
coach.
coaching Mississippi Valley State.
Yep, it was pretty cool to see that.
He's from Pascagoula, Mississippi, though.
Yep, it was pretty cool to see that. Hung out with Sam Shade a little bit before the game. It was good to catch up with Coach. You'll hear him tomorrow on the show as we get a recap of their homecoming win, but gracious host up there on Saturday. It was an awesome time. Connected with a lot of people I hadn't seen in a long time, and it was fun to see. But anyway, that's 2 hours of fun here at Bill Penny Toyota. We're back at it tomorrow, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Sure, Valley Equipment Rental takes care of the homeowner and his needs, but how about the pros out there? Well, Valley Equipment has the big stuff as well. The equipment